Hello? Johnny, can you hear me now? I think I figured it out. I think they plugged me into the wrong spot. So I think you should have volume now. Okay, does anyone else need any of those words repeated? Yes, Olive? Number 5 was fastened. Fastened. Liviana? Number 10 was immersion. Immersion. Stay turned around, please. Immersion. Yes, Ariel? Number 15 was biblical. Biblical. Okay. All right. Now, you guys have a word bank on the board here. You can see all of your vocabulary words. I am going to give you a definition, and I want you to write the correct vocabulary word, okay? So number 21. Write the word that means the immune system's attack on the body. The immune system's attack on the body. Gianni and Tristan, if you're watching, we just got the microphone fixed, I believe. If you can hear me, go ahead and just let me know that you can hear me. Okay. Number 22. Write the word that means an absolute ruler. An absolute ruler. An absolute ruler. Yes, sir. Same paper. Or just keep going. An absolute ruler. Number 23. Write the word that means a list of books and articles on a particular subject. A list of books and articles on a particular subject. Which vocabulary word means a list of books and articles on a particular subject? All of the words are on the board here. Which one of those means a list of books and articles on a particular subject? Number 24, write the word that means a cut. A cut. Are you finished with your cursive? Are you ready to get 100% on your pretest? Keep studying, please. Thank you. A cut. 25. Write the word that means to inject a vaccine into a living organism to prevent disease. To inject a vaccine into a living organism to prevent disease. To inject a vaccine into a living organism to prevent disease. Make sure you're numbering these. That was number 25. Number 26. Write the vocabulary word that means to burn to ashes. To burn to ashes. Make sure you're looking at both columns, this column and these four. To burn to ashes. Can see those words on the board there. Okay, next one. 27. Write the word that means to receive something from an ancestor at his death. To receive something from his ancestor at his death. To receive something from an ancestor at his death. Number 28. Write the vocabulary word that means to dwell in or live in a place. 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 Number 29. Write the vocabulary word that means to bring in from another country. To bring in from another country. To bring in from another country. Number 30. Write the vocabulary word that means a tool. A utensil. A tool. A utensil. A tool. A utensil. (31) Write the vocabulary word that means a person who comes into a new country to live. A person who comes into a new country to live. A person who comes into a new country to live. Josiah, are you getting all these? Are you getting all these? Okay, follow along, please. If you miss one, skip it and go to the next one. You don't want to miss all of them because you get behind. 31 was a person who comes to a new country to live. 32. Write the vocabulary word that means about to happen or close at hand. About to happen or close at hand. Cameron, put your mask up. Put your mask up, please. Your mask. Thank you. (33) Write the vocabulary word that means the supplying of land with water by using ditches or sprinklers. The supplying of land with water by using ditches or sprinklers. The supplying of land with water by using ditches or sprinklers. I don't think you're ready to get 100% on this, so steady. Okay? Number 34. Write the vocabulary word that means tried, made an effort. Tried, made an effort. Tried, made an effort. Tried, made an effort. And last one, number 35, write the vocabulary word that means convinced by argument or pleading. Convinced by argument or pleading. Convinced by argument or pleading. Okay, very quickly, if you missed one, you may raise your hand. I will repeat one time. If someone else asks for that, you don't ask again. If someone asks for the number that you're missing, then make sure you're listening right now. Landon?
I number them down, but it was like,
Okay, I asked you to number, so I can't help you if you don't number because I have them numbered in order. Yes.
30.
Number 30 was implement. A tool. A utensil. Happy birthday. A tool or a utensil. Yes, Adam. 33 was the supplying of land with water by using ditches or sprinklers. The supplying of land with water by using ditches or sprinklers. Yes, Liviana?
21.
Which one? 21. The immune system's attack on the body. Yes, Josiah. For the vocabulary? For the spelling words or the vocabulary? Excuse me. Vocabulary, so 21, 22, and 23? We didn't number them that way. We kept numbering them after our spelling. So it should have been 21, 22. Are you talking about the first three? Okay, so it should have been 21, 22, and 23. 21 was the immune system's attack on the body. '22 was an absolute ruler. An absolute ruler. And 23 was a list of books and articles on a particular subject. Yes, Landon?
33.
Number 33 would have been the supplying of land with water by using ditches or sprinklers. Yes, Ariel? 25. To inject a vaccine into a living organism to prevent disease. Okay. Go ahead and make sure your names are on them. Yes, Landon, one last question. 23 was a list of books and articles on a particular subject. Shane? 28. To dwell in or live in a place. 29 was to bring in from another country. Okay, 6th grade. Now make sure that we're studying these every single week. Make sure that you know the spelling and the vocabulary words so that we can be ready for our test, okay? You're going to have tests just like this next year in junior high. So make sure we're working hard and preparing ourselves, okay? All right, those of you that are finished with your pre-test, you may take out your writing books and you may begin on page 9 in your writing books. And the other boys, go ahead and get 2 sheets of paper out. Actually, just one. Sorry, you just need one. Okay, Josiah. Next time, number them so it's easier, okay? All right, Emily, I'm going to have to take it now. Where is your paper? Where is your paper? Quickly. quickly. Get when. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Get your penmanship out. Page 9, okay, is what you're working on today. Okay, Tristan, if you're listening, this spelling pretest is for you. You can pull out a sheet of paper and write these down on a piece of notebook paper. And you can email it to me if you'd like me to grade it tonight. See how you did for tomorrow. Okay, this is just practice for your spelling test tomorrow. All right, boys, number 1, it says write the dictated word. Number 1, write the word bows. Bows. The little girl had 2 pink bows in her hair. Bows. Bows. Number 2. Number 2, calendar. Calendar. Cameron, focus on the test right now, not your shoe. Calendar. Thank you, bud. Calendar. I use a calendar to keep track of my schedule. Calendar. Calendar. Number 3, canyon. Canyon. We went to the Grand Canyon last year on vacation. Canyon. Leave it. Leave it. Canyon. Number 4, capable. Capable. You, 6th grade, are capable of accomplishing great things if you work hard and put your mind to it. Capable. Capable. Number 5, caution. Caution. Please use caution when crossing the road. Caution. See, we're so busy. You focus. Okay. Number 5 was caution. 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 Please use caution when crossing the road. Caution. Number 6, blown. Blown. The light was blown out by the wind. Blown. Yes, sir. We are going to be working on language. You can go ahead and get it open to page 17 and 18. Blown. Number 7, don't get this one confused with number 1. Number 1 was bows, as in bows of your hair. Number 7 is bough. Bough, as in the tree bough. Number 8, beautifully. She sang beautifully. 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 Number 9, capacity. Capacity. The capacity of the auditorium is 350 people. That is the maximum capacity. 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 And number 10, beliefs. Beliefs. I am able to share my beliefs with other people. Beliefs. Beliefs. Boys, do either of you need any of those repeated? Yes, Cameron. Yes, Cameron? Number 9 was capacity. 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 Anyone else? Okay, that last section, you need to fill in the missing blank for your vocabulary words with the words that are missing. Incision is a what? Persuaded means convinced by blank or pleading. Import means to bring in from blank blank. Number 4 says attempted, blanked, or made an blank. And then number 5 says inhabit, to blank or live in a place. So you need to fill in the missing words on that. When you are finished, boys, you may bring that to me. And then 6th grade, go ahead and open up your grammar books to pages 17 and 18. Yes, sir.
Can I get a pencil?
Yes. Do you have another one?
Huh?
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay, go get it. Yes, sir.
That's 8. Again?
I'll have to look at it again. Number 8 was beautifully. She sang beautifully. Yes. No, no bathroom breaks right now. We'll collect it in a little bit. We'll collect it in a little bit. Boys, I'll give you 2 more minutes, okay? Then we're going to move on to grammar. If you didn't finish your homework on Think C 6th grade, you have about 2 minutes to work on that. I am going to check that. Write neatly on your work.
Is that right, Rachel? So I was confused about this one.
Mm-hmm. You had that right? Why are you erasing it? Go with your first gut. Made and what? Mm-hmm. can't give you the answer. Just go with your gut. Okay, 6th grade, while those two boys are working on completing that assignment, let's look at page 17. I'm going to come around and just check Think C, and then we're going to check our answers here, okay? So have page 17 open. I'm going to come around and take a look to make sure you accomplished it. Then we'll go over the answers together, make sure we got them correct. Okay, good. Let's look at number 1. It says you can borrow brains, but you cannot borrow character. We'll skip over the finding our subjects and verbs because I think we do a good job with that, and we'll skip over what we boxed, but let's talk about what was the maxim. What was the sentence formula here that we filled in the blank, okay? So who can tell me what they put as their formula in the blank here? Yes, Emmeline. Oh, that was your verb, yes. But what did you put in the blank here? What was your formula?
SV and SV equals
Compound. Good job, Emmeline. So it should say SV, comma, conjunction, which was comma, but, and then SV equals compound. Okay, let's look at number 2. Who has the sentence formula here in this blank? Landon, what did you get? Okay, well, you have a subject and a verb, and then you have another verb, right? You have 2 verbs here. You have can do and can get. So your sentence formula, if you did not get this correct, then go ahead and correct it. It should say SV and V equals simple. Okay? SV and V equals simple. So if you did not get that correct, then go ahead and change that in your book. So we have 2 verbs there. We have a subject and verb and a verb, but that still equals simple. Thank you, sir. Boys, go ahead and open up to page 17. Okay, and then sentence 3 here. Heaven and hell are in opposite directions. No man can go both ways at the same time. Who has the formula here? Liviana, what'd you get? Okay, so you should have S and SV. You have a subject and a subject and verb because you have 2 subjects there in that first section, right? So subject and subject verb, semicolon, and then subject and verb on the other side of the semicolon equals compound. Okay, make sure you're writing in S for every subject you have, V for every verb you have. Okay, number 4. The best ability is dependability. This one's an easy one, class. What was your formula here? Shout it out if you know it. SV equals? Simple. We only had 1 subject, 1 verb. And number 5, behind every tragedy in human character, there is a process of wicked thinking. What is our formula here? SV equals? Simple. We only have 1 subject and 1 verb. Very good. Turn your pages to the next, or your books to the next page, page 18. Today we're going to talk about now how do we diagram a compound sentence, okay? We talked about how to diagram a compound subject and how to diagram a compound verb, and now we're going to look at how we diagram a compound sentence, okay? So remember 6th grade, then when we're diagramming a subject and a verb, okay, let's just review very quickly. When we're diagramming a subject and a verb, pretty easy, right? We have a subject, we have verb. We just divide it in the middle with a line. Eyes up here. When we have 2 subjects, what do we need to build, Cameron, when we have 2 subjects? Who can help them out? Yes, sir. What do we need? We need to build a rocket, right? So when we have a compound subject, we're building a rocket ship. Here we have my subject, my verb. Okay, if we have 2 verbs, We're going to do that in reverse. We're going to build a rocket ship for my verbs. Okay? If we have two subjects, two verbs, we're going to have a rocket ship on either side. But what do we do when we have a compound sentence? Okay, I already have the diagram written on the board here. We're going to start with our subject and our verb. Our first subject and our first verb. Then we have this dotted line that comes off of our verb. Eyes up here. This is very important. You're going to be doing a lot of this diagramming. You're going to have to know how to do it. Okay, you're going to have a dotted line. Your comma and conjunction go on this line right here. Then you have your dotted line that connects from verb to verb. Here we have our second subject and our second verb. What do you think we would do if we have a compound sentence that also has a compound subject or a compound verb? What do you think we would do, Shane? We're going to do a rocket ship. So basically, if we have a compound subject here, then it's going to be the same layout except for I'm going to build my rocket ship here in my subject section. Okay, so this is where our diagramming can get pretty fun. Okay, because if we have a compound verb here, then we would also have to build a rocket ship. Wherever you have a compound subject or a compound verb, we're going to build our rocket ships. We're not going to look at that today. We're going to basically just diagram our simple compound sentences. Okay, when I say simple, I mean easy, not simple sentences, because we know a simple sentence means there's only one sentence. Compound means we have two sentences joined by a comma and a conjunction or a semicolon. Let's look at number one of the think. It says, in the spaces provided below, diagram the subjects and verbs from the compound sentences in Think A on page 16. So you're going to have to flip back a little bit, okay? So let's look at page 16, Think A. The sentence is, the table is made properly, but the chair's legs are uneven. The table is made properly, but the chair's legs are made even. This is what I want you guys to do, because I think this is going to be the easiest way to do this. I want you to rip out page 17 and 18. Everyone go ahead and do that. Okay? Then you can flip over page 18, and you'll have it right next to Think A where you can see what you're diagramming, because that's going to be too hard to flip back and forth, okay? So go ahead and rip out page 17 and 18, then just flip it over. Okay? Everyone got it? And let's look at that first sentence. We'll diagram this one together on the board, and then we'll do the other ones on our own. So let's look at this sentence. It says, the table is made properly, but the chair's legs are uneven. Okay? What is my first subject and verb? Tony? Yes. Page 17 and 18. Did you just rip that out? Okay, page 16 in your book. See right here? It says Think A on page 16. So those are the ones we're diagramming. Okay, everyone else know where we are? Okay, so let's look at number one. The table is made properly, but the chair's legs are uneven. Who can tell me what the subject and verb is that goes here? Emmeline, what's my subject?
The subject is we.
What's the subject? Think A right here. The table is made properly.
Table
Okay, good. So table, and what's my verb?
is and made.
Table is made. Okay, good. What goes here, class? But very good. Make sure you're diagramming this on your page there. You're going to draw this out. Keep your lines nice and straight, please. So you have table is made. Then do your dot, dot, dot. Your straight line, your dot, dot, dot. Your comma and conjunction go right here on this line. And what is my subject and verb that goes on this second line? Who can tell me what it is? Shane? legs are. This should be pretty easy because we've already found our subjects and verbs in this section. So now it's just plugging them in to that same diagram, okay? Okay, so number 2, you're going to do the same diagram. I'll erase these words and we'll fill in number 2. Okay, number 2 says a large crowd gathered. A large crowd gathered and the celebration was a tremendous success. Landon, what's going to go here?
Celebration.
The first subject and verb?
Oh. Gathered.
Gathered goes where?
Right side.
Okay. So that's my verb. And then who or what gathered? Crowd. Good. What conjunction do I put here, Landon? And. Make sure you're diagramming this on your paper as well. And Josiah, what's going to go on the second subject verb line for number 2? I need my subject and my verb. We've already marked them in your book. Large crowd gathered and the celebration was a tremendous success. What's my subject and verb in that second part? Olive, can you help him out? What subject and verb did you mark here? Celebration. Good. Celebration and was. These all should already be marked in your books, okay? Once again, we're on page 16 and we're just diagramming them out now. We're using the same diagram each time. And that was number 2. Let's go on to number 3. Number 3. I'm going to do number 3 with you guys, and I'm going to let you do 4 and 5 on your own. Remember, subject, verb, dot, 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 line, dot, 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 joining the 2 verbs together. Okay, let's look at number 3. I have finished my homework. I still have some time for a snack. What is my first subject and verb in that first sentence? Ariel? And what's my verb? Have finished. That's my verb phrase. Remember to always include your helpers. Okay? And then what's joining these 2 sentences, Ariel? The semicolon. So we're going to put our semicolon right here because that's what's joining it. Okay, and then what is my second subject and verb here, Adam? I and have. Okay, class, I want you to work 4 and 5 on your own. I'm going to be coming around the classroom just checking, making sure you're diagramming these correctly. If you have any questions at this time, raise your hand. And I will come around and help you. don't forget your main verb here. You have what? You underline both of those as your verbs. That's your helper. You need to make sure you write your whole verb phrase. Okay, so you're going to have to write have received in there. Yes. Yes, when we're done, I will let you guys have a bathroom break in a few minutes. Good job, Shane. It doesn't have to go to the end. It just has to go somewhere, and that's fine. You don't have to erase it. Just bring your line out more, okay? It doesn't. Same thing here. I sent. Yeah, you put your comma in conjunction here. This is number 4. Yep. So you're gonna put your comma in conjunction. You're writing your subject and verb here for the first sentence, and your subject and verb here for the second sentence. Because remember that these are compound sentences. Compound sentences mean that you have 2 sentences here, joined by either a comma and a conjunction or a semicolon. That's the only way that you can correctly join 2 sentences. So you're going to do, no. You're going to do your subject and verb from this part of the sentence. So here's your first sentence. I sent my money a month ago. What did you do? Sent. That's your verb. Who or what sent? I sent. Then over here you got to find your subject and verb. I still have not received my tickets. So what is going on here? Have received is your verb. Who or what have received? I. This is your conjunction. This is never a subject or verb. That's going to go right here next to this comma. Comma conjunction. And then you're doing your I have received. Okay, so put your line here, and you're going to have your I have received. So you have your subject and verb, your subject and verb. Good job, Olive. He will what? Don't forget your whole verb. Okay, so you have an understood use, so make sure you put those in parentheses, even when you diagram them. And here, you are missing your helper. And you did that on your quiz a lot. You always want to remember to underline those helping verbs. That's part of your verb phrase. It's not just love, it's will love. That's your whole verb. So here you need to write, he will love. And check yours, Gavin. Can't read this part. Try to write a little more neatly. Yes. In just a moment. Okay, good. So remember 6th grade, that when we're diagramming, what we're really doing is we're dissecting a sentence, right? We're tearing it apart. So when we're diagramming a compound sentence, remember that a compound sentence, Cameron, is 2 sentences, right? That's what a compound sentence means. It means there's 2 sentences that are joined together correctly with a comma and a conjunction or a semicolon. So when you're diagramming these, remember that your simple sentence is diagram, subject, verb. Okay? Well, I have 2 simple sentences making up a compound sentence. So when I'm diagramming a compound sentence, I have my first simple sentence, my second simple sentence, and I just show that these are joined by whatever that is that's joining them, either the semicolon or the comma and the conjunction. Okay? So if that helps you to remember how to diagram compound sentences, remember it's just taking it apart. We have 2 sentences that are joined together. Okay? So if it helps, diagram that first sentence first, then diagram the second sentence, then draw in your connector here. Because remember, your first sentence might eventually have a rocket here. This one might have a rocket. So break it apart. Diagram your first sentence, then underneath it your second sentence, And then that's when you draw in this line that shows how you're connecting them, okay? So I was walking around. Most of you got number 4 and number 5 correct. One thing that I noticed on number 5, you have an understood you. Even when you're diagramming, make sure that you write your understood you in parentheses, okay? That way it helps us to remember it's not actually written in the sentence, it's just understood. The other thing that I noticed on number 5 is many of you forgot to include your helper, will. This is your complete verb phrase. Don't forget those helpers. Those words that can be linking words: am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, have, has, had, do, does, did, should, would, may, might, must, can, could. These are the helping verbs. When those words do not stand alone, they become a helper, okay? If there is an action verb after it, that word that normally can be a linking verb becomes a helping verb. And you have to include both the helping verb and the action verb to write in the complete verb phrase. A lot of you, many of you missed that on your quizzes yesterday. You didn't include some of those helpers. And because of that, you missed that on the top part, and then on the bottom part where it told you to write how many sentences had verb phrases, you missed that one because you had not labeled your helping verb in the section above, okay? So when you're finding those verbs, make sure to look carefully. Look for that action word. If you have an action word, then check. Say, do I have a helping verb with this action verb, okay? And if you do, underline it and include it. That is all we are doing today. So you guys do not have any homework. You should have already completed your penmanship page. And that's all we're doing for language. So we are going to pray. And we're right on time for lunch, okay? Heads bowed, eyes closed. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Lord, thank you for Wednesdays. Lord, I pray that each student would do their very best. Lord, I pray that each student would study and be ready for their spelling test tomorrow. Lord, help them to work on those vocabulary words. Lord, I pray you'd help them to put forth the effort to study and learn and grow. Lord, I pray that you help us to have a good lunch, bless this food to our body, and keep us safe and healthy, Lord. We love you so much. And we're thankful for all that you've done for us. In your name I pray. Amen. All right. Gianni and Tristan, we will hopefully see you soon. If you want to email me the pretest, if you got it, that's great. If you missed it, that's okay. It was just practice. But be ready, boys, for your spelling test tomorrow. Okay?